This morning, one of the biggest drug in America, once based right here in Memphis, well, a movie based on the hunt to capture him will be coming to life. A release shows Golden Globe nominee Dennis Haysbert is the first star to join the cast of the movie American Smuggler. You may remember Haysbert as the Allstate spokesperson with the deep voice. And you also may remember him, I know a lot of people do, as Whitney Houston's love interest in Waiting to Exhale. Yeah, you remember that. The film will show the true story of SEAL Team 6's efforts to find Craig Petties and the capture of Mexican drug lord El Chapo. One of the producers is Memphis native Janelle Stokes. Now get this, less than a year ago, I actually sat down with members of that DEA task force who arrested Petties as they spoke about the investigation and capture of one of the most dangerous men in Memphis and his connections to the Mexican cartel. Craig Petties is serving 9 life sentences in federal prison, convicted of murder, conspiracy, and drug trafficking. I sat down with the leader of that task force who released a book about that investigation and capture. For those who don't know, many remember this man as the biggest drug lord in America at one time.
And he took that route that a lot of these guys do and became one of the biggest drug dealers connected to that cartel in Mexico.
His name is Craig Petties. Former DEA agent Abe Collins says at one point in time, he was the biggest drug trafficker in America based right here in Memphis.
2001 is when I began the investigation on him, realizing how big, significant of a target he was in this area. From all the intel that we was getting, I initiated the investigation on it. And DEA, you initiate stuff. Nobody just assign you anything.
Collins explained it took a lot of help investigating Petties, both federal and local law enforcement, on a task force. Thurman Richardson of the Memphis Police Department joined that task force.
He said, we're going to go look for Craig Petties. He got
our free time.
On our free time in Vegas, because Craig had a house in Vegas.
Collins told me Craig Petties first got on the radar of federal law enforcement as a teenager in 1995. It wasn't until the 2000s when the DEA really started looking into his dealings with drugs. Collins details the capture of Petties and the teamwork of the task force in a newly released book titled Gladiators.
Unbeknownst to us, even then, this guy was already in Mexico. I just didn't know it. So if you go through the book, you would see it was just at a certain point that we realized that he was no longer in the U.S. He was actually in Acapulco, Mexico City. He had places all throughout the country of Mexico, being protected by some of the corrupt officials there.
Petties is currently serving 9 life sentences in federal prison for murder, conspiracy, and drug trafficking.